Why boring businesses create more millionaires than startups. Most people think wealth begins with a brilliant idea. A college dropout creates an app. A founder builds the next billion-dollar company. Investors pour in millions of dollars. The company explodes in value. And overnight, another entrepreneur becomes rich. It's a story we've heard so many times that we've started to believe it's the normal path to wealth. But here's the problem. Those stories are the exception, not the rule. For every startup that becomes a billion-dollar company, thousands quietly disappear. Some run out of money, some never find customers, some build products that nobody actually wants. And some spend years chasing growth before realizing they were solving a problem that didn't really exist. Yet while all of that is happening, another group of entrepreneurs is quietly building wealth in a completely different way. No venture capital, no investors, no viral social media campaigns, no headlines, just businesses. Ordinary businesses. The kind of businesses most people never dream about owning. In fact, many of the people becoming wealthy today aren't building the next Facebook. They're operating companies that most people would consider boring. Commercial cleaning companies, equipment rental businesses, waste management services, property maintenance companies, contractors, paving companies, pressure washing companies, apartment turnover companies, businesses that rarely get featured in magazines, businesses that don't attract attention, businesses that solve problems. And that's where the story gets interesting. Because attention and wealth are not the same thing. Think about the last time you drove through your city. You probably saw an apartment complex, a construction project, a dumpster truck, a commercial building, maybe a crew cleaning windows. You likely didn't think much about them. Most people don't. But behind every one of those businesses is something incredibly valuable: demand. Not hope, not speculation, not a future possibility. Demand. Someone already needs the service. Someone is already willing to pay for it. Someone has a problem that needs to be solved today. And that's where many entrepreneurs get things backwards. They spend years trying to create demand. The business owners quietly building wealth are serving demand that already exists. Imagine two people starting businesses on the same day. The first decides to build a new software company. He spends months creating a product, building a website, designing features, testing ideas, looking for investors, trying to convince people that his solution matters. The second entrepreneur notices something much simpler. A local apartment community constantly needs units cleaned before new residents move in. The problem already exists. The customer already exists. The budget already exists. The demand already exists. One entrepreneur is trying to create a market. The other is serving a market. And that difference changes everything. Because one of the biggest myths in business is that success comes from finding the perfect idea. In reality, success often comes from finding the right problem. The larger the problem, the more valuable the solution. Think about it. If your roof starts leaking during a storm, you don't care whether roofing is exciting. You care about fixing the problem. If your apartment needs to be prepared before a new resident arrives tomorrow, you don't care whether cleaning is glamorous. You care about getting the unit ready. If a construction project needs an excavator to keep moving forward, nobody asks whether equipment rental is trendy. They need the machine, immediately. Customers don't pay for excitement. Customers pay for solutions. And the people who consistently solve expensive problems often become wealthier than the people chasing attention. That's why some of the most successful business owners in America drive pickup trucks instead of Lamborghinis. They spend their days solving real-world problems instead of trying to look successful online. And while social media celebrates startup founders, those business owners are quietly building assets, relationships, contracts, and recurring revenue. The kind of wealth that compounds year after year. The kind of wealth most people never see. And the most surprising part? The opportunities are usually hiding in plain sight. Not because they're secret, because they're boring. That's because boring businesses have something that many startups never achieve: necessity. People may want the newest social media platform. People may want the newest app. People may want the newest technology. But wants are unpredictable. Needs are different. Needs create urgency. Needs create demand. And demand creates opportunity. Think about what happens when the power goes out in a major city. Nobody starts searching for a new entertainment app. They call an electrician. When a pipe bursts inside an apartment building, nobody cares about the latest startup trend. They call a plumber. When a construction project falls behind schedule because equipment is unavailable, nobody waits for innovation. They rent the machine they need and keep moving. This is one of the biggest advantages boring businesses have. The customer already understands the problem. The customer already wants a solution. The customer is already willing to spend money. The entrepreneur doesn't have to convince someone they need the service. The need already exists, and that changes everything. Many startups fail because they spend years educating the market. They spend years explaining why customers should care. They spend years trying to create a problem that people never felt in the first place. Meanwhile, boring businesses enter markets where the problem is already obvious. Imagine owning a company that prepares apartment units for new residents. The property manager doesn't wake up wondering whether turnover cleaning is important. The resident is moving in next week. The unit must be ready. The problem is immediate. The budget already exists. The work needs to happen. Or consider equipment rental. A contractor wins a project. The schedule is tight. Workers are waiting. Materials are arriving. The contractor doesn't have 6 months to think about equipment. The equipment is needed today. The rental company isn't selling a machine. They're selling progress. They're selling time. They're selling certainty. And that's why these businesses become so valuable. They sit directly between a customer and a problem that needs to be solved. The closer a business gets to solving an urgent problem, the more valuable that business becomes. That's a lesson many entrepreneurs learn too late. They spend years searching for exciting opportunities while ignoring the opportunities people desperately need. The market doesn't always reward the most exciting business. The market rewards businesses that create value, and value is often found in the most ordinary places. In fact, some of the strongest businesses in the world aren't built around products. They're built around systems. Systems that solve the same problem over and over again. A property manager needs units prepared. A contractor needs equipment. A city needs waste removed. The customer pays. The problem gets solved. The process repeats, again, and again, and again. That's when something interesting starts to happen. The business becomes predictable, and predictability is one of the most underrated forms of wealth. Because once a business owner can predict revenue, they can hire employees. They can buy equipment. They can expand operations. They can take on larger contracts. They can grow. And while everyone else is chasing the next opportunity, they're building systems that generate opportunity every single day. So why do most people never see these opportunities? The answer is surprisingly simple. Because attention is loud, and wealth is often quiet. Every day, millions of people are shown stories about celebrities, influencers, startup founders, and overnight success. The headlines celebrate billion-dollar valuations, massive funding rounds, luxury lifestyles. And while there's nothing wrong with those stories, they create a distorted picture of how wealth is actually built. Most fortunes aren't built overnight. Most fortunes aren't built through viral moments. Most fortunes are built slowly. One customer at a time, one contract at a time, one solved problem at a time. That's not as exciting, but it's real. Think about the businesses we've discussed: commercial cleaning, equipment rental, waste management. None of them sound glamorous. None of them are likely to trend on social media. Yet all of them solve problems that people are willing to pay for. Not once, repeatedly. And that's the difference. The world rewards people who consistently create value, not just people who attract attention. The challenge is that value often looks ordinary. A construction site looks ordinary. An apartment turnover looks ordinary. A garbage truck looks ordinary. An equipment yard looks ordinary. But if you look closely, you'll see something else. You'll see customers. You'll see demand. You'll see money changing hands. You'll see problems being solved. And that's where opportunity lives. In fact, the biggest shift an entrepreneur can make is learning to see the world through a different lens. Most people see work. The truth is, wealth rarely hides behind secrets. It hides behind things people ignore. It hides behind industries people dismiss. It hides behind work that isn't glamorous enough to attract attention. And that's exactly why so many opportunities remain available. While most people are chasing the next trend, someone else is building a business around a problem that has existed for decades. While most people are looking for a shortcut, someone else is building a system. While most people are trying to get rich quickly, someone else is quietly getting rich consistently. And in the long run, consistency wins more often than excitement. The next time you drive through your city, pay attention. Look at the apartment complexes, the construction sites, the service trucks, the warehouses, the equipment yards, the businesses most people never think about. Because behind every one of them is a lesson that many wealthy entrepreneurs learned long ago. Wealth isn't always created by inventing something new. Sometimes it's created by solving a problem that has always existed. And the people who understand that often discover opportunities that everyone else drives past every single day. The biggest opportunities aren't always hidden. Sometimes they're simply overlooked. And that's why boring businesses continue creating millionaires while everyone else is looking somewhere else.